Well, I've been fortunate to travel around the world and even circumnavigate this beautiful planet 3 times and cross all 7 continents. And along those journeys, I've learned so much about the importance of reliability and durability, not only in the vehicles that we select, but in the components that we add to modify those vehicles. And that's where I think ARB really plays a key role, is that legacy of knowledge that dates back to 1975. I'm Scott Brady, publisher of Overland Journal and Expedition Port. One of my earliest memories of ARB, we had just started Overland Journal, and one of the team members took the time to show me the entire product line. They showed me the shocks and the springs and how they all work together, and the philosophy of ARB, and how they made components that were designed to survive long distances in the backcountry. And as a new publication, that show of consideration and grace towards us, it really did stick with me. It was a memory of how supportive they were, and this was decades ago, how supportive they were of new publications and new people to the industry. In 2010, I drove across the Silk Road from Spain all the way to Mongolia. And then just over a year later, I started a project called Expedition 7 with some friends of mine. And we were able to go to all 7 continents with the same 70 series Land Cruiser. And we learned so much on those journeys about the critical nature of durability and reliability, not only when it comes to the vehicle that we select, but also the components that we add to those vehicles to make them work even better in the backcountry. I'm grateful for all of the opportunities that I've had around driver training and professional driving and even racing. And one of the first big races that I did was in 2006 for an event called the Outback Challenge that was held in Morocco and in the Western Sahara. And what that really showed me was that the components that you select are critical to reaching your goal. And that may be for a traveler just to get to point Z or to make it to the next border crossing. But in the case of a 5-day long, 2,000 kilometer endurance driving event like that, which was very technical in nature, seeing how well those ARB components survived. The entire suspension on the Land Cruiser was Old Man Emu, and it also had an ARB bull bar fitted, because this was a more technical challenge, which meant we had a lot of winching operations that we needed to do. So we had an 8274 Warren winch fitted to the bull bar, and we were using it on a daily basis. So that was a really good reminder to me of how important that component quality really is. Not only to finishing a race, which we were very fortunate to also have been able to win it, but I think a lot of that is because of the quality of the parts that we had on the truck. Over the last few decades, I've been able to travel around the world, including 3 circumnavigations of the planet and crossing all 7 continents. That included, in 2010, driving across the length of the Silk Road, and then with Expedition 7, we crossed North America up to Prudhoe Bay, all the way to St. John's in Newfoundland, before shipping to Europe and driving up to Nordkap, and then resetting for our long trip across Russia, ending after the Road of Bones in Magadan at the other coastline. From there, we shipped to Australia, where we crossed the Outback and ultimately crossed the Canning Stock route, the longest unsupported overland road in the world. From there, we shipped to South Africa, where we were able to experience the Okavango Delta of Botswana and then take the Namib Desert across to the Skeleton Coast. Having completed that journey, we needed to prepare the vehicles for Antarctica, where we became the first American team in history to cross the Antarctic continent with a four-wheel drive, ultimately crossing the continent twice and experiencing the South Pole twice as well. After Antarctica, we shipped to South America, where we drove down to Ushuaia, ending the journey at the southernmost city on the planet. A few years later, we had one more journey to do, and that included crossing the ice sheet of Greenland from the south all the way to the north in Wolfland, ending up at over 80 degrees north latitude. And after 7 continents, and about 80,000 kilometers over a total of 4 years, we didn't have a single failure in any of those components. And while I'm so grateful for my travels around the planet, it's really the team of people that I get to work with at Overland Journal and Expedition Portal that has made all the difference for me. And it's those friendships that I've formed while traveling around the globe that is also just so enriching my life. Travel will change us if we let it.